Hello, I hope everyone is doing good. In the previous videos, we went over the PHP code on how to display client, insert client, update client, and delete a client from the database. Okay, and I hope everyone had no issue with that application and it's running fine for all of you. If you have any issues or questions, concern, please feel free to reach out. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your application look professional and visually appealing. So let's start with the first thing is insert client using a table. Okay, so let me show you that. So if I click on insert a client, so this is the HTML page that is going to collect information to be inserted into the database. Here for me, this is not professional. You see the client number followed by what? By a text box. The next line has a text, then another text box, which is not aligned with the previous one. Then, so you can see the text boxes are shifted left and right. So how to make it professional? There are two ways. Either you can add blank spaces, which is not convenient. And the appropriate way to do it is to use an HTML table. So a table, the first column will have that text, and the second column will have those text boxes. So let me show you how to do that. I will share that code with you. And here it is, insert client HTML. This includes an HTML table to align input boxes of the form. Okay, so here it is, the same code. I just added a table. So this is the opening of it, and this is the closing of it. And the table has rows. So each row starts with TR, which stands for table row. So this is the first row, and each row has two columns. TD, which is stand for table data, which is a column. So here the first column is client number. It's closed here. Then we open another column, which is the text box. Same thing. The second row has the name, the first column, then the text box, and so on. Okay, so you can do it manually if you like, or you can just copy the whole code and you paste it in that insert client.html. Okay, which is this one. Okay, so this is the page. So I'm just going to add that table. Okay, so I'm going to save it. And now let's go back to the HTML page and see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to open a new tab so we can compare the old version with the new version. Okay, so this is the new version. Okay, it's professional. You see the text boxes, they are aligned. The page looks great. Okay, compared with the old one. Okay, so you can do it also for update a client when we collect the information. Here we are just using the table HTML, and we are not displaying the border. So the border of the table are not displayed. That's why you don't see the table here, but you can see the columns, they are aligned. Okay, so the next tip is, let's go back here. And the next tip is, again, use an HTML table to display the client. Okay, so let me tell you what is that. Okay. Okay, let me just copy the code and I will explain that to you soon. Okay, let's start from the connection from SQL until the end. Okay, so again, this is the page here, display client. So here we have just plain text. Okay, again, doesn't look professional. How to make it professional? I'm going to create a table, and the first row will have the client numbers. The second row, I will have the client names, then the sex, age, and I'm going to align them by columns. Okay, so all the names are going to be aligned, all the emails are going to be aligned, and so how to do that using an HTML table. So this is display client.php. So let's edit that file. Okay, which is this one. Okay, I will already explain that code for you, and this is what I'm going to do, which is this. Okay, so this is what we added. I just added a table. So this is an HTML table, and this is the first row. Then again, the table I'm going to create here, I'm going to add client number in the header, then name, then sex, age, and email. So how I did that? So this is called table. So the first row is what? TH. TS stands for table header. So it's going to be just bold or strong, then followed by client number. So it's going to, this is the first column. Then the name is the second column, sex, age, and the rest of attributes. Then the while loop. So the while, remember the while loop to fetch the record and display them. So each time is going to be a new table row. Then the row, the client number is going to be a new column. The name is going to be another column, and so on. Okay, so this is very simple. So let me save it, and let me open that in a new window, a new tab, so we can compare them. And it looks like that. Okay, so this is a table. This is using plain text, and this is using a table. You can use CSS, okay, to make it more professional. Let me use a CSS. Even if you didn't take any class about CSS, that's fine. You can just search online and you can find CSS and you can just use it, and your application is going to look professional. So let me show you. You can just Google that, CSS tables, and here I'm going to share with you CSS table style. Here, this is just W3 School. Let's use that code. So try it yourself. Okay. So here it is. And what I have to do is just to use that style. I'm going to copy it from here. So I'm going to use that style, copy it, and I'm going to do what? I go back to my pitch page, and I can just put it here before the body. So I have the head. So I'm going to save. Now, if I go back to the page, let's see how the page is going to look. Okay. So now if I reload the page, look, now the page look like that. Okay, that's very simple. I'm just using CSS. Even if you don't understand what is CSS, just you can copy it and paste it, and your page will look great. Okay, let's try something else. For example, this one. Okay, when you move the mouse, see the colors. Yes, I like that. So I'm going to do the same. So here, I need just the style. Okay, so I'm going to copy that style from here to here. It's very simple. I go back to my page, and this is the style. I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, so let me save. If I go back to my page, now if I reload, you see that color. Okay, you can change the color. For example, this is the color, it's coral. Okay, you can make it yellow, you can make it cyan, whatever. So let's make it cyan. So I'm going to save. Now if I go back to the page, okay, if I reload the page, now you see the color is changed. Okay, so you can use that. And next thing is, let me go back to here. What we can do next? Delete client in a single file. Yeah, okay. So each time, let me show you that in the application. You remember, to add a new client, we do what? We collect the information through an HTML page, then we post it to the PHP. Same thing for update. We collect it and we post it to the PHP. Same thing for the delete. For each operation, it's like I have two files. That's fine with me. If you want to keep it that way, that's fine. But if you want to combine both the HTML and PHP page, yes, you can do that. You can have a single file, a PHP file, where you can collect both, collect information and post it to the same file. So let me show you an example for the delete PHP. So here it is. So in the PHP, you are going to have the form. Same thing we did before, client number, the text box, and the form. So once you submit, it's going to be where you are going to post it to what? Look at the action is blank. Blank, that means it's going to be in that page. And here at the bottom, if post submit, that means if the submit button is clicked, here we collect the information, client number, and the rest is the same. Here is going to delete that client. Yes, so if you want to do that, that's fine. So let's try it together. So I'm going to copy it from here. And this is the delete.php, which is this one. Okay, so I'm just going to put everything here. Let me save it. And I don't use the HTML. I'm going to use the PHP directly. So to do that, so I need to, here in the delete client, once the delete client is clicked, so now it's going to take us to the PHP, not the HTML. Okay, I need to save that one as well. And here, if I come here, let's go back to the main menu. If I click delete client, okay, it's still in the cache. Let me go back. So let me clear the cache. So it's Control F5. Now delete client. Now you see it takes us to delete client.php. Okay, so let's delete the first client, which is C201. We have 201. Submit. Yes, the client C201 is removed, and you can see here, yes, C201 is displayed, right? So you can apply this, and let's see if we can add something else. Okay, so let's stop for the moment. So I'm going to upload a new video to show you the rest. Thank you, everyone.